Hello, all of you join. So see this problem. An artificial satellite revolves around the Earth with a relative velocity of 1000 meters per second. Calculate its KE when acceleration due to gravity is 8.5 meter per second square and gravitational force is 5 kilonewton. Using simple formula F is equal to ma, what are given? You first write down. What are the parameters given? Velocity given, and K is to be found, and acceleration due to gravity A given, and force given, gravitational force given. In F is equal to ma, F is given, and acceleration given. You find m value, but F is given in kilonewton. We are required to do more and more problems because this type of parameters, for example, the force is given in kilonewton. That has to be converted into Newton here. That is the only substitution we have to make, and then calculate mass, and the required kinetic energy with given velocity can be known, and it is worked out like in Newton meter. At this step, we will stop actually. However, because it is a weighted numerical, or the numerical value is very high, that is converted into megajoule by dividing by 10 power 6, like that. But this is not mandatory. The second step is not required. Even you can write this value as 294.1 multiplied by 10 power 6 joules, like that. Are there anybody who are noting down? You better note down this. Otherwise, there is okay. Last time we discussed several thermometers, and a constant volume gas thermometer. It works on the principle of on thermometric property by changing thermometric property, which is pressure inside. So a constant volume gas thermometer, it consists of a U-tube manometer. To one side, a bulb is connected and a fixed amount of some dilute gas which is attached to this manometer. The manometer contains mercury, and any pressure variation in the bulb that is having some people are still waiting in the room. I am admitting them. Okay. Okay. The manometer is used to measure the variation in pressure in the bulb. And of course, because constant volume is maintained as per because PV by T is equal to constant, and because volume is a constant, P1 equal to V2, and we write P1 by T1 equal to P2 by T2, like that. And before that, the constant volume gas thermometer is to be calibrated, and that calibration is done at triple point of water. The triple point of water is 0.01 degree centigrade or 273.16 Kelvin. And at the pressure, you will read from steam tables the critical point temperature. At critical point temperature, the pressure can be read. And now, if any pressure variation is there in the bulb, that is, the bulb is subjected to any pressure variation or any temperature variation, then the temperature can be measured using P1 by T1 equal to P triple point by T triple point, and or T by P equal to T triple point by P triple point. In that way, the temperature can be known. That is, temperature T is equal to the pressure reading in the manometer multiplied by T triple point by P triple point, where T triple point and P triple point are known, and pressure reading will be known. And in that way, the temperature that is subjected by the gas bulb can be known. And there are some animations. We will show the animations in the. You will see the net for variation for animation, and it will help you. And I will try to show you. Is my screen visible to you?
So now we're going to see the gas thermometer working. So we're going to raise the gas, raise warm water into the gas.
You see the bulb.
Gas will expand. Notice we've got starting levels of the
and it is subjected to some change in temperature.
The gas will expand, which will force the mercury down on the right hand side and up on the left hand side. This will also increase the pressure as well as the increase in volume. So when it reaches equilibrium, the two levels of mercury don't change anymore, then what we will do is come along, we'll grab the left hand side of the tube, further increasing the height of the mercury, increasing the pressure, which will then force the mercury on the right hand side to come back to the level that it started at. What's happening now? And when it gets to the level that it's starting at, we can see on the left-hand side the height difference of the mercury, and from that we can calculate new pressure that the gas is under at the same point.
Screen కనిపించలేదు సార్.
వినిపించలేదా?
వీడియో కనిపించలేదు సార్.
వీడియో కనపట్లేదా? Okay, you will now see another video.
Now let's talk about the constant volume gas thermometer. Now in this, the volume is a constant value. The volume does not change.
Now is it visible to you?
Schematic of the whole thermometer.
Yes, sir. Conveniently, sir.
కనిపించలేదా?
In both the arms, we have a liquid called mercury. So this black color has been used mercury. Okay. You have a flexible tube which is wrapped around these two arms, making it a U-tube manometer produces.
Sir, screen share PDF on sir.
PDF?
Okay.
PDF కనిపిస్తుంది సార్.
Okay. That means there is a problem. Okay.
We have a capillary tube, which is thin and a glass and a gas.
Is it audible to you?
Another gas.
Yes sir, audible sir.
Okay. Then that's why a problem is there.
This
Now is my screen visible?
No sir. Stuck అయ్యాం sir.
Okay, and some problem is there at your side. Okay, anyhow. Now it must be used. Visible? Is it visible?
Visible sir.
Okay, it must be visible. Now all of you mute yourself. Somebody is talking simultaneously. Now you see one more problem. This type of problem was given earlier in the examinations. It is a simple mathematical problem. Just you look at the statement of the problem. A new scale, capital N of temperature, is devised in such a way that the freezing point of ice is 100 Newton and boiling point is 400 Newton. Now, in this scale, the freezing point of ice is to be marked as 100 Newton and boiling point as 400 Newton. What is the temperature reading of this scale, this new scale, when the temperature is 150 degrees centigrade? At what temperature both the Celsius and new temperature scale reading would be the same? Did you understand this problem first? This was given earlier in the examinations. Is it visible to you, the problem?
Yes sir.
Now here ఏంటంటే మన freezing point actually 0 degrees centigrade. That is freezing point of water. Boiling point 100 degrees centigrade, right? But he has asked us to show in another scale. That is, in another, he wants to maintain this type of scale, say a secret scale or a scale which can be read our own scale. For example, 0. If it is 100, it is 0. He means 0 degrees centigrade. If it is 400, he means 100 degrees centigrade. In that way, what would be the actual 150 degree centigrade should show on this new scale. Here it means 100 degree new scale, 400 degree new scale, like this. In the 0 degree, actual 0 degree centigrade is shown by 100 degree on new scale, and actual 100 degree centigrade is shown on new scale as 400. For example, what would be the reading on new scale for an actual temperature of 150 degree centigrade? See, this is a simple mathematical problem. Simple mathematical problem. How it is done, you see. For a difference of 100 minus 0, there is our scale, the new scale difference is 400 minus 100. 400 minus 100. That means 100 minus 0 by 400 minus 100 equal to. You can write like this. I repeat, 100 minus 0 divided by 400 minus 100 is equal to. What is 100 minus 0 scale? Our actual Celsius scale. So that is equal to actual Celsius scale divided by new scale. What is new scale? It is n. It is shown by n. So C by n minus 100. It means that C minus 0 by n minus 100. C minus 0 by n minus 100. I repeat, the correlation is established in a more general mathematical way. How? See, for a difference of 100 minus 0, the new scale reads 400 minus 100. And what the actual Celsius difference should be on new temperature scale. That is the problem. So 100 minus 0 minus 400 minus 100 is equal to C minus 0 by n minus 100. So if this formula is understood, or if you can establish this type of problem, this type of formula from the given given statement of the problem, that then the problem solution will be very easy. Now, after establishing this, you simplify this. But how you want to simplify? This is 300, for example, 300 by 100. It will be 3c plus 100. So n equal to 3c plus 100 is the resultant equation. Or you need not write all these things. Just when, for example, he wants for an actual 150 degree centigrade Celsius scale, what is the new scale reading? So actual C is equal to 350, you substitute here. The new scale reading would be 550 degrees, new scale. And that means the 150 is designated by 550 on this scale. It is general intuition also. If 100 shows, if 100 is shown by 400 and 150 is shown by like that. Like that, of course, you cannot generalize. You have to put this formula, then only you can do. So n is equal to 550. So for a 150 degree centigrade reading of actual reading, n is equal to new scale reading is 550. And one more point is given: at what temperature both Celsius and new temperature scale reading would be the same. That means if n is equal to, if you for example, if n is equated to C, if n is equated to C, put n is equal to C in this formula. So then the C value would be minus 50 degree centigrade. That means both scales will read same minus 50 at minus 50 degree centigrade. In this way, the establishing of new scales or secret scales can be done. Did you understand this formula? How is this formula arrived at? Okay, I repeat. For a difference of 100 minus 0, the new scale reading, difference is 400 minus 100. That is what written here. For a difference of 100 minus 0 by 400 minus 100 equal to Celsius scale C minus 0 by new scale N minus 100. Because the reference point is, for example, taken as 0. This for this also. For this also, to take reference as 0. So for C minus 0 by N minus 100, N minus 100 is equal to 100 minus 0 by 400 minus 0. In this way, the statement of the problem can be put in the equation form like this, like this. So like this, the problems can be solved. New scales can be established. So this is a problem given in the earlier earlier examinations. Did you understand this? If no, you have to put it on paper. You have to put it on paper. Are there anybody who are taking these problems on paper? If anybody are there, you show me now. You put your cell phones onto your notebook and show me. Are there anybody? Did you understand this problem? Why this type of typical problems are taken? Because these simple problems were given in the earlier examinations. These are, of course, randomly taken. Why? Because these are the orientation is based on simple mathematics. Nothing more than that. Okay. Still people are waiting. Okay. Okay, did you understand? Is there number 56? Number 56 is there. Okay, respond. One of you unmute yourself and respond. Unmute provision is given to you. You can unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Okay. Now, did you write it on your notebook?
Yes,
Or
sir.
just,
Right.
okay, let me show your notes for your for the sake of remaining people also. That is by switching on your video. You can
Okay, sir.
show it. Just show it. Right. Right. Number 3, he is showing Right. Remaining people also, you follow him. Number 3. This is of course a model problem, which is which will be thoroughly understood in the later stages also. A rubber balloon is to be filled with hydrogen from a storage cylinder which contains hydrogen at 5 bar pressure until, okay, at this point, why problems and why solving problems is important is to, of course, habituate ourselves to different units and different parameters, properties. Now, I'm asking you one simple question. How one bar is equal to how many Newton per meter square? This very fundamentally is required here. 1 bar is equal to how many Newton per meter square? Number 3, did you know?
Sir,
How many? 1 bar is equal to 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. 1 bar is equal to
10
10
power
power
5
10
Newton
power 5 Newton per meter square.
Yes, sir.
All these are to be recollected. That means, of course, we had learned all these things in very preliminary classes, maybe intermediate or before that. But still, at this stage, again, we require all those fundamentals. Okay, in that way, a storage cylinder is there filled with hydrogen and which contains hydrogen at 5 bar pressure. And what is required from that storage cylinder? A rubber balloon is to be filled until it has a volume of 1 meter cube. That means the rubber balloon initially is flat and it has to be filled by hydrogen and until the volume becomes 1 meter cube. Now, just reading a problem is an art. What is the initial volume of the balloon? What is the initial volume of the balloon?
5 bar pressure, sir.
No, I'm asking you volume. Forget about 5 bar.
1 meter square, 1 meter cube.
No, read the problem. Okay, I read and I repeat. A rubber balloon is to be filled with hydrogen from a storage cylinder which contains hydrogen at 5 bar pressure. What is here? There is a cylinder and it has hydrogen with the 5 bar pressure. Now the rubber balloon we have seen the balloon and we had played with balloons in our childhood, and most of the people in their childhood they play with balloons. Initially the balloon volume is 0, it is flat and it has to be filled with this hydrogen and until it occupies volume of 1 meter cube. That means because rubber balloon is flexible, that means it can be extended when hydrogen enters into the cylinder, it expands by virtue of its rubber property of rubber until the volume inside is 1 meter. That means initially it is flat. That means nothing is there in the rubber balloon. So 0 volume is there. So the initial volume of rubber balloon is 0, and finally it has to be filled with hydrogen from a certain cylinder until the volume of the rubber balloon becomes rubber balloon comes to a value 1 meter cube. So that is what is given in the problem. Now the remaining are all simple things. The atmospheric pressure may be taken as 1.013 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. Determine the work done by the system comprising the hydrogen initially in the bottle, bottle. And okay, it's a because the volume of the balloon is suppose it is increasing from 0 to certain V, and the pressure, outside pressure against atmospheric pressure, the balloon is expanded.
1.0
Yes, 1.013 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. Initially it is same, and finally after the balloon has attained a volume of 1 meter cube, then also the atmospheric pressure is same. So in that way, the pressure there, what process is going on there, it has to be observed. A practical process, it has to be observed. So what process has been going on there? It is a constant pressure process. A constant pressure process, or against atmospheric pressure, the balloon is expanding. So for that, to understand this type of concepts, the problems are taken. Not to introduce this type of integrals at this stage. This is to understand work and heat concepts. Work concept, especially work concept. What work concept? We have learned in the last classes that the work is given by integral PDV. Integral PDV. When there is some expansion of a gas against a piston. Or in the earlier class, we have shown, we have, of course, discussed this with a certain, say, you can take this also, for example. This also. For example, if this is expanded, the piston is expanded, then because this is slow compression process, or if this is compressed, it will be a compression process. And if it is expanded, gas is expanded from here to here, it will be expansion process. Whatever is there, either compression or expansion, the work is calculated by integral PD. Integral PD. So here, of course, the PV relation has to be known. It will be given. It may be PV for gamma equal to constant. It may be PV equal to constant, like this. If it is PV equal to constant, in integral PD, we write C by V. P as C by V. And we write the integral C log. And the integration can be done from initial volume to final volume, C log V2 by V1. And where C is replaced by, again, either P1 V1 or P2, which is constant. If PV is constant. Like that. For a isothermal process, the integration can be done like that. And what does the integration mean? The integration means the area under the process, state 1 and state 2, if it is carried out according to PV equal to constant, it is again the area under 1 to 2. Whatever is the process, the area under this curve, if the coordinate system is a PV coordinate system, that is pressure on y-axis, volume on x-axis, then the volume subtended by this curve, that is on volume axis, the area subtended by this curve on volume axis gives us the work done. That is integral PD. Integral PD integrated from 1 to 2, like this. So all these being engineering students, I think that much depth explanation is not required to you. Of course, having good mathematical knowledge than anybody else, any graduates, you will have a good mathematical knowledge. That's why, see, and this is in other figure we discussed this. Of course, uh, see, for example, in this, what does this you comment on this cycle? One of you regarding work. One of you, number 3 or anybody else, comment on this cycle 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. What does the area of this diagram on, for example, PV chart represent? What does the area represent? I'm asking you the area 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, what does the same area on PV chart represent? Okay, you require some time. You are taking more time. I will tell you here. The area 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 represents the work done in the cycle, or here because it is clockwise, it will be work done in the cycle, or work done by the cycle. That means it may be a turbine, it may be any work producing device, I said in the earlier classes, the cycle, say, if it goes in clockwise direction like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, a clockwise direction. A clockwise cycle give positive work. That means some work will be done by the cycle. So the area here represents the work done by the cycle. Work done by the cycle. Now, what is the difference between the earlier process and this one? In the earlier process, only a certain process 1 to 2 has been taken. It meaning that the area under 1 to 2. Here also, the same is the case. For example, this is PV chart, the area under 1 to 2 is all this area under 1 to 2 subtended on the volume axis. This entire area subtended on this volume axis will give the work done in the process 1 to 2. And now the work done in the process 2 to 3 according to integral PDV. Suppose if this is volume axis, integral PDV, what is, for example, volume remains constant in integral PDV. What is its value? Okay, what is the derivative of a constant?
0, sir.
0, very good. So in the same way, in integral PDV, if suppose volume is remained constant, see this 2 to 3, on this is volume axis, x-axis, volume axis. Anywhere on 2, 3, the volume remains constant, right? Because it is perpendicular to volume axis. This is volume axis, for example. And since this is perpendicular to volume axis, anywhere on 2, 3, the volume remains the same. So therefore, because the volume remains same, integral PDV on the process 2 to 3, where volume remains constant, is 0. That means there is no work interaction in this process 2 to 3. Similarly, there is no work interaction in constant volume process 1 to 4 also. I repeat, if this is volume axis and if this is pressure axis, like that. Now, I am asking you again, why I am telling you integral PDV on the process 1 to 4 or 4 to 1 is 0. Why? You are not getting? Okay, otherwise I have to use whiteboard, but it takes some time. In this laptop, there is no possibility to write, and otherwise I have to type and it takes more time. That's why, of course, we are limiting ourselves to these diagrams. Okay, here integral PDV on the process 4 to 1 is also 0. Why? Number 3, can you tell? Integral PDV.
Sir,
Integral
it
PDV.
is opposite to 2 to 3, sir.
No, no, you are okay. Okay, I repeat again. Okay, you said that d of derivative of a constant is 0. Okay, right? You said derivative of a constant is 0,
0, sir.
right? Now, in integral p dv, that is integral p multiplied by derivative of volume. Now, 2 to 3, suppose this is a constant volume axis. So on 2 to 3, volume remains constant. So V is constant on 2 to 3. Similarly, V is constant on 4 1 also.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now
V is constant, sir.
P constant. Now I am now entering into integral PDV. Now integral PDV for this process 2 to 3, because for this process 2 to 3, volume is remaining constant. That integral PDV on the process 2 to 3, that is integrated from 2 to 3, on that process, because volume is constant, in the integral P multiplied by derivative of volume is there, and derivative of volume on the process 2 to 3, because it is a constant, the derivative of volume is 0. So therefore, I am telling you that integral PDV on this line or constant volume line is 0. And now tell me, on this line also, I am telling you integral PDV from 4 to 1 is 0. Why? Why I am telling like that?
Volume is constant, sir. And
And that's all. Volume is constant here also. If this is volume axis on 2, 3 as well as on 4, 1, the volume is constant. That's why integral PDV value on this line is 0. Or simply the area subtended by 2, 3 on volume axis is 0. No area is subtended. Only a single point will be there. If you extend 2 to 3 onto volume axis, it will be a single point. No more, no area. Similarly, if you extend 1, 4 onto the volume axis, it will be a point. Not like if you, for example, under 1, 2 to 3, 1, 2, if we extend 0.1 and if you extend 0.2 onto volume axis, the area subtended would be this much. There will be certain area. And it is a rectangle again, say 1, 2, say 2 dash, 1 dash, 1. Like this much area, which is integral PDV value on 1 to 2. In the similar way, integral PDV value on 3 to 4 is this area. This area, and of course, so this area is a negative area because this is in the opposite direction. It is a negative area, and it has to be subtracted. And from the whole, this area minus this area becomes this net area. That means the area 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 is the net area of the cycle, and this gives the work output of the cycle. In that way, integral PDV has to be understood. And at this point, that is when a cycle is thermodynamic cycle is discussed, the integral PDV has importance because of that. Because integral PDV has its importance while discussing a cycle. Like that. Integral PDV over a cycle. Now, what is this area in mathematical form is represented? It is represented by integral PDV and over a cycle. And those mathematical things we will learn later in the coming classes, of course. Now you take this balloon. Now coming to this hydrogen cylinder. Now initially the balloon is flat. Balloon is flat. I have
Flat.
it. And now finally the balloon is filled with hydrogen gas. So the volume is changing. Suppose if you take now integral PdV value is, for example, for the net, if you want network, integral PdV of the cylinder plus integral PdV of the balloon. So that is how here this entire this is cylinder as well as a flat balloon is taken as the entire system, or inside of the flat balloon and inside of the cylinder is taken as the entire system, and which is given as integral PdV. The entire system is equal to integral PdV the cylinder plus integral PdV the balloon. And this is a solid cylinder, the volume remains constant. You agree?
Yes, sir.
Because this is a solid cylinder, and I said integral PdV here because this is for solid cylinder, because volume is a constant. Integral PdV because P into derivative of constant volume, which is because this is a solid cylinder, the volume remains constant. That's why this value is taken to be 0.
Sir,
For
0.
0. And for balloon, it is flexible balloon. That means the volume would change. If the valve is open, the volume will change. Initial value is 0, that is 0 to the final volume 1 metric. So this integral value can be calculated for balloon. For cylinder, I repeat, it is a solid cylinder, and because the volume is a constant for solid cylinder, and therefore the integral PdV value for cylinder is 0. And for balloon, how will you calculate? Here, the balloon expands against outside constant atmospheric pressure. So pressure can be taken outside. From the integration, pressure can be kept outside, and integral dV from initial volume to final volume. Initial volume is 0, that is flat, and final volume is 1. And this is atmospheric pressure 1.013 into 10 power 5, it is given, multiplied by 1 minus 0, that is 0 to 1. Here the volume numerical values are not given, however you can put from 0 to 1. So it is an integrated integral dx from x1 to x2 is, you remember, it is x2 minus x1, like that. Integral
Yes, sir.
dv like that, 1 minus 0, not single one. It is p, which is a constant value, multiplied by 1 minus 0. 1 is final volume, 0 is initial volume. Like that, the network can be found. So in this way, these are all simple mathematical problems, and to understand what completely here, that is network done. Network done is here, of course, Newton meter. You can stop at this point. See, for example, 101 point less, or this at this point 1.013 10 power 5 Newton meter. How it became Newton meter? This is Newton per meter square pressure, and the volume is 1 meter cube. Newton per meter square multiplied by meter cube. So Newton meter cube by meter square, which is Newton meter. Understood? Right? How the unit Newton meter has arrived? You observe. Pressure is in Newton per meter square. And why understanding units is required is because if this is given in bar, you have to convert into Newton per meter square only. Otherwise, you will not get Newton meter. That's why conversion is required. So here, bar is converted. Of course, the atmospheric pressure is given directly in order to, for example, bars. All these are not, of course, required here. This atmospheric pressure is given directly in Newton per meter. So that is applied here. That is applied here. So Newton per meter square multiplied by 1 minus 0. That 1 minus 0 is in meter cube. So Newton per meter square multiplied by meter cube becomes Newton meter. So here at this point you can stop the problem. Not all this required. And if you can divide by 10 cube to get kilojoules. Like that. Newton meter is joule. You remember that Newton meter is joule. So you can at this point you can stop, or you can even convert it into kilojoule or megajoule, like that. It is up to you. But nobody will ask you to do the second step in kilojoule. You can stop at this point, as that the work done is this many Newton meter or joule, like that. Like that, we will deal with problems. Okay, time is over. We will stop at this point. Okay. Okay. Thank you.